Hello, today I'm going to be talking to you about how to use cravings to help you grow mental strength. So I realized last week that I had an opportunity every time I was craving to move closer to the kind of person I want to be. So for me, the kind of person I want to be is someone who's not using food when they are stressed, tired, bored, upset, whatever it may be. And the vast majority of the food that I eat under those circumstances when I'm here at home, and the food and the drink, the high calorie stuff that I really enjoy is when I go out. When I go out for a meal with my partner, with my friends, with my family, when I go out for drinks on a weekend, those are the things that I really enjoy and those are the things that I want to keep in. And so I recognize that if I could work through these cravings at home, not only would it help me to lose weight and to set a better example to the people that listen to what I do, but it would also make me happier. It would give me those feelings of control. It would help me to be the kind of person that I wanted to be. And so I wanted to show you today how I've done that over the last week and some of the successes and failures that I've had, and then how this is something that you can do. And so the first thing that I did was to plan some of my high calorie food for the week. Very often when I'm working with clients, they'll say the food that I had was a conscious decision ahead of time. But when you read the details, somebody just turned up with a bottle of wine and they drank some. So that's not really a conscious decision ahead of time. That's a decision made in the moment. So I went out for a meal on Tuesday night with my mum and my partner. On Wednesday morning, we went out for breakfast, me and my partner. And then on Saturday, I went to a food fair. And so for the most part, I stuck to it. So I had the meal, I had the full English breakfast. And when I went out on the weekend, I said my plan was to have a meal, a snack and a drink. And what I ended up doing was I had some lower calorie meals. I didn't have any snacks, but I did have 4 alcoholic drinks. But for me, looking back on that as a week, is I didn't have the high calorie food at home. And that's the stuff that for me really isn't taking me closer to being the person I want to be. I want to be someone who, when there's a distraction, I'm able to focus. I'm able to move away from that negative thought. Now, whether that is frustration at work or frustration with people in my life or random events, whether that be the weather or whether it be somebody when you're driving, whatever it could be, I don't want to hold on to those negative thoughts. I want to be able to let them go. And food gives me a chance to practice that every single day, because I probably think about high calorie food at least 5 times a day, sometimes 20 times a day. So when I get that thought and I recognize this is just a chance for me to grow, this is just a chance for me to let that thought go and to move on from it. And of course, sometimes it's stickier and sometimes it's harder to let go of and sometimes it's easier. And there are things that we can do to help with that. But the piece that's always going to have the most success is your mindset, because you can say, well, I just need to sleep better and drink more water. But you can't always control those things. You can always control your mindset. You can always control the way that you think. If I ask you to think about a pink elephant now, you can do that. Everyone can do that. The difficulty comes in doing that tens and hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of times, and doing it under difficult circumstances, doing it when you are underslept and you've had a long stressful day and you've had an argument and you're hungry, but you can still do it. And this is what I want to recommend people do, and I'm going to talk about my journey with it as well, because the more that you can do this under challenging times, the more resilient you can become. For example, I do a little bit of meditation. And historically what I do is I lie down on my bed and do it because it's comfy. I've got quite tight hips, so it's really uncomfortable for me to sit on the floor cross-legged. But what I realized was that when I do it lying down, it's really easy because there's no thoughts coming into my head. When I sit down on the floor cross-legged, my brain will keep feeding me these thoughts of, oh, my hips are sore, my feet are sore, this is really uncomfortable. And so it becomes more challenging for me to focus my thoughts. And that is then more transferable to real life, because it's when I'm stressed and when I'm tired and when I'm upset, whatever it may be, that's when I need to be able to move my thoughts. And so by practicing that way, I'm more likely able to do it longer term. I'm more likely to be able to do it when the stakes are higher, when the pressure's up. I'm not sure if that makes any sense or not, but I'd be interested to get your thoughts on this, whether this is something that you're looking to work on as well, and maybe I can help you to do it more going forwards. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching.